This video is brought to you by War Thunder. Guys, today we're going to be talking about some very serious business, okay? Cartoons made for children. Now, just to preface, this video isn't going to be about like the worst cartoons ever made or anything like that, because I already made a video about the Annoying Orange Show. I wanted to have a look at some of the most hated cartoons ever made, and dude, I have watched so many angry rant videos to make this, and you have no idea how much I wish I could get that time back.
Teen Titans Go. To the movie. No. More like Toddler Titans, no. To the military school.
This is also not me saying that any of these shows are bad, by the way. That's kind of what I want to talk about. I'm just going by the opinions of thousands and thousands of angry YouTube comments, because to be real with you, I hadn't actually seen a lot of these shows before making this, so I'm going to be coming at you from the perspective of a guy who, like, never had cable, you know? Alright, so, obviously, there's no better example than Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans Go sucks. It's the worst show ever. And the characters are so fucking retarded.
And I'm gonna say the same thing that every single person who's complained about this show in the last decade has said, like a fucking hive mind, that the original Teen Titans is one of the best cartoons ever made and was cancelled way before its time. And I miss you every day, you sweet, beautiful child.
That's how it ends? And there is no sixth season to resolve the plots hanging from the cliff?
You ended that show?
And after a full 7 years of looking up whether Cartoon Network changed their minds about season 6 yet, to wake up one day and find out that Teen Titans was finally coming back, but it looked like this. I mean, yeah, I was 16 once too, okay? I'm not gonna act like I was better than any of those people. I spent every waking moment of my day pissed off about this show. I mean, anyone that's been watching this channel for a while would know that. We don't have to talk about it.
The terrible Powerpuff Girls reboot. They all contain.
Oh my god, you can see me looking at the script, for fuck's sake. The reason that Teen Titans Go got made was because Cartoon Network used to have this DC block in 2011 that had these Teen Titans shorts that had a much simpler art style and was nothing but the Titans fucking around for 5 minutes. That all got super high ratings because Teen Titans fans would have watched literally anything that looked like the original series. So that obviously gave them an idea that while the original show wasn't viable anymore for whatever bullshit reason Cartoon Network gave, I think it was like either it didn't have enough ratings or it was something about the merchandising rights. Anyway, the fact is that Teen Titans Go was like 1 billion times more successful than the original ever was.
We have a fan? Are you sure? I thought everyone considered us an abomination.
They do! Everybody hates us!
Everyone except Wallet Walls right here!
A Teen Titans Go fan, huh? I don't buy it.
Like, Teen Titans was a big hit, sure, but I don't think it ever got to the point where Cartoon Network aired it 300 times in 1 week. Which actually happened, by the way. That was OKKO's premiere week, where they played like 4 episodes of it a day and 70,000 episodes of Teen Titans Go, and also Megamind for some reason.
When I first met you, I thought you were weird and annoying. And you are.
The backlash to Teen Titans Go with your usual angry rant videos and petitions and death threats was so massive that it didn't take very long for the show to start making fun of the people shitting on it.
We don't just do dookie jokes. Yeah, we do 2 jokes too, yo!
Like, I don't even think it made it to like the 2nd season before they had like this episode where they have the guys from Young Justice show up and get mad at them for not taking anything seriously, which definitely has no hidden meaning whatsoever.
You and your team have brought nothing but shame to all real superheroes. The Teen Titans are a disgrace.
But I think nowadays that Teen Titans Go has been airing for like twice the amount of time the OG show did. It feels like people are kind of coming around to it and realizing that it's not actually that bad. I mean, it only took 10 years. And I think as I've gotten older and my sense of humor has devolved, I think I enjoy it way more now than when I was a kid, which definitely says something about how shit my sense of humor has become. I remember in the 200th episode, they like meet the crew that makes the show and they go to like their office and it's like this dingy, disgusting building where all of the animators are like chained down. And you know what? I'll admit, I laughed, okay? What are you gonna do about it?
What could be better than making ice?
Spending time with my kids.
Anyway, we interrupt this adult man talking about children's cartoons to bring you the sponsor of this video. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, a free-to-play vehicle combat simulator that lets you choose from over 2,000 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from all kinds of different eras and nations for you to decorate with anime skins. Finally, a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. War Thunder is cross-platform, so you can play on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC and join the community of over 70 million players and causing as much property damage as physically possible. Across multiple game modes with a damage damage system so realistic it would give your grandpa flashbacks. Plus, it's free to play and heavily optimized, so even grandpa can relive the glory days with just a mouse and keyboard. And if you sign up right now using the link in the description, you get a limited time bonus pack available for new or returning players who haven't played in at least 6 months across all platforms using my link, which gives you premium vehicles, the Eagle of Valor vehicle decorator, 100k silver lions, and 7 days of a premium account. Dude, I say it all the time, but you're so welcome. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring, and now let's get back to complaining about children's cartoons. The only other show I can think of that's been this blatant with clapping back at the internet is the Patrick Star Show's Nostalgia Critic episode, where they basically spent an entire episode just making fun of internet reviewers.
Today's been really nice.
Yeah.
Look at this. Fire? Underwater? You can't do that in real life. I hope someone gets fired for this.
Yeah.
SpongeBob doesn't like you.
People got mad at that one because there was this whole story going around that like SpongeBob creator Steven Hillenburg was super against any spin-offs being made, but then the second he died, Nickelodeon just started pumping him out in the classiest way possible. Or at least that's what people were saying without realizing that he was actually still alive when they were making it, so... Oops. Anytime I see stuff like this, I just picture like the 5-year-olds that these shows are made for watching it and being like, what the fuck am I looking at? Teen Titans Go making unlimited money gave Cartoon Network the idea to try and replicate the formula with basically any old cartoon they had lying around. And even if nothing has been able to come close, my god, did they still piss people off. Like the Powerpuff Girls reboot, which is also like so fine when they're not twerking. I don't know why they made them do that. Thundercats Raw was one too, and oh my god, were people so mad about this one.
Never in my life have I seen anything on YouTube with more thumbs down than this new Thundercats straight trash.
This show was in like the exact same situation as Teen Titans, where when it was first announced, people were like, oh, why don't you just make like a really good action cartoon with good animation and actual story? Because they did, and nobody watched it. Thundercats, I definitely get the reactions to a bit more because it's a pretty random choice for a comedy show, and it's aimed at an even younger audience than Teen Titans Go, so I really doubt the 70-year-old fans of the original are going to enjoy something that looks like a Tumblr webcomic. But it's made for kids, and this is what kids like now, you know? Just like how in the 80s, every kid wanted to watch big muscly dudes in shows that had more animation errors than actual frames. But the Teen Titans Go crossover with this show is one of the funniest things I've ever seen because they turn the Titans into like those old boomer fans, and they are so right about how people act with this kind of show.
They took one of the greatest action cartoons of all time and turned it into a comedy? I am outraged!
Why's their mouth shaped like beans?
And they have a whole point that like Starfire is the only one that hasn't seen the original show and she just thinks it's like really cute. She's literally me, for real.
I believe you will all find it as wonderful as I do.
Yeah.
I've seen enough!
Every mouth is a dang bee!
It reminds me of like Ninja Turtles fans who really hate Rise of the TMNT because they had the audacity to make the Turtles not look exactly the fucking same as they have for the last 20 years. Even though that show is awesome. Like, you're always gonna piss off a lot of people as soon as you try and do anything different with a property that people really like. Because sometimes it feels like all people want is just for it to always be exactly the same and never be different ever. Not like Sonic though, that was different, okay? Velma, I guess, is another example too, but I think that one's a little different. I mean, it makes the top of everyone's worst cartoons list. Like, if you find any post from last year about bad cartoons, Velma absolutely clears.
Because a cool-ass boss bitch like myself deserves to be.
I think what pissed people off about Velma is that it basically only takes the names and like basic character design from Scooby-Doo and slaps them on a show that otherwise has nothing to do with it. Where Velma and Daphne sell drugs and Shaggy fights a guy with a samurai sword, but we can't have the talking dog in there because that would be ridiculous. And yeah, I think we can all agree this show isn't the best because every single character talks like a Redditor, but the hate for this one started way before it even came out, and I'm gonna give you one guess as to why that might be. You'll figure it out, don't worry. And a similar thing happened to Crunchyroll's High Guardian Spice, which had everyone been normal about, would have just been like some average low-budget show that people forgot about in a week, but made the fatal error of having a teaser trailer where they talk about how it's written by women.
We are 50% female in all the creative roles, and our writer's room is 100% female.
Ah, dude, you can hear the bold YouTubers pissing themselves from over here. Just looking this one up on YouTube is gonna give you like 5 million different videos about how this show hates men, and it's one of the worst shows shows ever made, and then I watched an episode of it and it was like so fine. And please, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with these shows, okay? Because, oh my god, you bet there is. But I don't know, I feel like having an entire channel dedicated just to re-uploading clips of a show for people to shit on it is a bit much. And yeah, putting a Cartoon Network looking show on an anime streaming site was a choice, but you can't tell me there was this much fuss made over some generic Crunchyroll series with absolutely no underlying reason. Like, come on guys, go outside. Another one that people have really come around on is Uncle Grandpa. Like, we're at the point now where people are like, wait, people hated Uncle Grandpa? What do you mean? Hop off my fucking goat, bro. All I heard about this show for ages was that it was like one of the worst things ever made.
Pizza Steve.
And I've seen videos from other YouTubers that say the same thing, so I know I'm not going insane, okay? And it only took me watching the first episode where Uncle Grandpa shows up to some random kid's house and takes his shirt off.
Uncle Grandpa taught me that belly brothers don't have to wear shirts.
To figure out that the show's sense of humor was the reason people hated it so much. But I think it was around the time of the great HBO Max purge of animated shows where only a single episode of Uncle Grandpa was the sole survivor. So, you know, maybe it was a case of people like not knowing how much they liked something until it was gone. It just really made me think of like how much of my perception of cartoons online had been shaped by like angry 15-year-olds on the internet.
Freaking stupid!
I thought Steven Universe was like the shittiest thing ever made until I actually watched it. And it's like so fine. Like, I mean, who would have thought that angry cartoon reviewers wouldn't have been the best source of information?
Teen Titans Go. What? More like Teen Titans Go to stupid things.
Actually, I think Uncle Grandpa did a crossover with Steven Universe, which tonally is like a completely different show, so maybe the problem was that this is just where a lot of people were exposed to it, like how Uncle Grandpa exposes himself to small children. Speaking of small children, I just love that like people hate shows like Teen Titans Go or Thundercats because it replaced a series they really cared about from their childhood, but with Caillou, people just hate it because the kid is a fucking asshole. This is what happens when you make a bunch of really tired parents sit through a show about a bold dickhead who throws a tantrum every time things don't go his way.
Mommy was sure Caillou would like his special dinosaur pancake, but Caillou barely even noticed.
You take me to him! Take me to the son of a bitch! Take me to him! Come on!
The universal hatred for this child is one of the funniest things I have ever seen.
Why is he bald? Does he have cancer or something? Good.
There is an entire subreddit called Caillou Hate dedicated to bullying a fictional 8-year-old.
Caillou is a despicable, spineless 4-year-old boy who cannot do anything. But because he sucks. Even his own body recognizes that he does not deserve help.
Caillou's parents love her better because she is a better
Maybe he'll die from
There's
his injuries.
absolutely no point.
You feel the shows are
Sometimes though, all it takes for people to hate something is just for it to be really, really ugly. I would know. Big Mouth gets a lot of shit because every single character looks inbred, but I was like never sure if the show was actually bad or if people were just like being prudes about the subject matter. But the series' art style being an affront to my eyes has stopped a lot of people from getting into a show that's apparently a pretty thoughtful take on what it's like going through puberty. I wouldn't know though, because it only took me about 5 minutes of watching to feel like I belonged in prison. There's a show on Cartoon Network called Problem Solvers, which next to Velma was the undisputed champion of all of the what is the worst cartoon threads on Reddit. I'll give it some credit for trying to do something different, but I think a lot of people just didn't vibe with it. I mean, probably because they were too busy having a seizure. Oh, and then there was Angela Anaconda, and this one's for the Canadians, okay? After school, anytime Angela Anaconda was up next, I knew I only had a couple seconds to grab the remote before I'd go permanently deaf. The reason this one is so hated isn't just because of its low frame rate or the fact that the whole show looks like a ransom note. It's actually because Angela was like mostly kept contained to Canada and Australia, but the exposure spread to America when Fox Kids wanted to cross-promote this hit new show at the start of the fucking Digimon movie and forced you to sit through an ad for it.
Prepare for battle, you pathetic Pukemon!
So Angela's legacy for most people is for ruining the Digimon movie and for this like 4chan green text where someone made up a story about how it made their parents divorce. And honestly, that's not even like the worst thing you could be remembered for. Like, you could be Johnny Test, which is the other thing that Canada still has to apologize for. This one, as far as I know, was like the Teen Titans Go of its time with how much Cartoon Network overplayed it. So like, yeah, it was popular, but all I've ever heard people say about Johnny Test is that their sound design guy had a single MP3 file and a dream.
Well, this is his 100th episode since you sprayed him with your fairy tale spray.
Johnny has not had 100 episodes.
Dude, it takes a lot to dethrone the laugh track from the Big Bang Theory, but they genuinely play a whip crack sound every time a character moves, because I guess someone left a mic on while they were beating the animators. I watched a YouTuber called Your Bud Tevin do a drinking game where he took a shot every time they used the sound, and he already downed 5 before they even made it 15 seconds in. I think he got up to like 200 sips at the end of a 20-minute episode. How is that man still alive?
Johnny has not had 100 episodes.
Can I be honest for a second? This is the worst fucking idea I've ever had.
It's all good though, because Canada also gave us Total Drama, so we're cool. We don't have to talk about Total Drama-rama, okay? Anyway, I think the lesson that we've learned here today is that we really don't have to get that mad about cartoons, okay, guys? Unless it's about Megamind 2, that's totally different, okay? Don't forget to check out the sponsor of this video, War Thunder, and get your bonus goodies using my link for a limited time, and I'll see you guys next time.
There was an episode where Robin kissed Cyborg. Gay.